Morning everybody, Tobin here, 5M family. Today is the day for our feeder pig that we've been growing since September, and it is now about to be June. We're about to get her loaded up, take her up to the processor, and then when we get back I'm going to talk to y'all about what we do, how we grow a pig each year on a very small property, and just some tips and suggestions and things like that. So we're gonna get her loaded up now, and we'll kind of show you that process too. And usually it goes pretty easy, so we'll see here in a second. We're having to let the chickens out because our little pen that we have set up is in the around there where their coop's at. All right, y'all, we got her loaded. We're using our four-wheeler because it's too wet back here to get our truck back here. She looks a lot bigger in that trailer.
I'm ready to just lock her butt off.
So I was eating my words when I said it's usually pretty easy with the pigs, and it usually is. She's but, like, yeah, that one.
Aggressive.
Look at that. We had to. Yeah, Shannon's got a big old cut right there.
I know, and then
she did not want to go in there. Usually they go up in there out of curiosity, and she got to the gate and she's like, nope. And so we had to.
When she gets mad, she gets aggressive.
I promise you, we're hurting more than she is. I promise. Because she was just like taking her nose up underneath. We had like pallets, using those to kind of guide her in there. She was just sticking her nose under them and just flipped them like she was King Kong. So, all right guys, we're gonna go clean up. Shannon, I looked around behind at one point, I was like, close the gate, close the gate. I looked back and she's laying face down in the mud. I think she went to run and her feet just kind of came out from underneath her.
Yeah, because it's muddy and slick, and I was trying to get in there, and then I hurt my finger. Like, I don't know when I fell. My finger's hurting. Yeah, we're gonna go wash off. We're gonna get her up there to the processor, and then when I get back, we'll talk to y'all more about how we raise pigs and what we do, and maybe give y'all some suggestions. Oh, you're.
Right there is perfect. All right, y'all, we are back from dropping our pig off at the processor, and I made other videos on our channel similar to this, but just want to make another one, a newer one, to kind of show you guys where we're at. Sorry, the chickens are being loud there. Need to be fed. I just want to kind of show you guys what we do, maybe encourage y'all to try something similar. In my opinion, if you're wanting to start providing for yourself, being more self-sufficient, etc., raising a pig on a small property is going to be the easiest way to do it. Goats require more room. Cattle for sure require more room. Pigs do not require a lot of room. So now we don't pasture raise our pigs. we have pen raised pigs. We have a approximately 550 square foot pen that our pig was raised in. It goes from that side of the garden shed over there, behind this garden shed, over here to this gate over here. If you do some Google searches, there's a lot of varying information on what the recommendation is for square footages to raise a pig in. But you'll find, if you do some Google searches, that 550 square feet is very large compared to like a production facility and what they're putting pigs in to raise for a production pork facility. They're basically providing them with enough room to stand and maybe turn around in, and that's about it. Our pig has a lot more than that. So, you know, we have 1 acre here, and having the pig there, getting used to the smell is not a big deal. But other than that, it's not very invasive or doesn't cause any issues really with our property. We have neighbors that are close by on this side of us. No problem with them or anything. So I encourage y'all, if it's something you're wanting to do, getting into providing for yourself, being more self-sufficient, consider a pig. Do your research, and I think you might find that it would suit a situation where you have small acreage very well. So let's kind of go through everything of what you're going to need. So first, you're going to need a place to find the pig, to buy the pig, etc. You can go to a sale barn. We buy from a friend of ours that is who raises show pigs, and they have lots of pigs that come through their facility that are born, that are intended to be shown, that do not have the best qualities, and they cull those pigs, which means they just get rid of them, and they sell them at a very discounted rate so that they can just get them off the feed bill, and they can focus on the pigs that are going to be better show quality because of the traits they have. So that's where we get our pigs from. I would encourage you to look for people in your area that raise show pigs. That's going to be in my opinion, probably your best bet versus going to a show or a sale barn or something like that. A pen, we've never ran a hot wire in our pen. We've never had a pig get out. Well, we had one get out one time on the fence over here because it was more on us than it was the pig, but we got it back in pretty quick. But you can do a hot wire if you want to. If you don't have a real good quality fence that they could maybe root underneath or something like that, you could do a hot wire. You want to have shade and shelter for them. As you can see, there's a tree line on the back of our property, and there's 2 little lean-tos over here. Our place is really muddy, so I can't get too close over there to show you guys, but we have 2 separate lean-tos in the pen that the pigs can get underneath. There's a gray one there, and then there's one right there. This last pig, the gray one is flipped over, and no matter how many times you get back in there and flip it back over for her, she would just flip it back again and again and again. So we just, it's been that way for a while, but yeah, having some shelter to keep them out of the cold, shade to keep the sun off of them, good fences, those are important. I recommend, we try to do everything as hands-off as we can with our animals. So we have a watering system that I have right there. It's a trash can pipe running out of it with a nipple on the end of it, and then a feeder. I have a video on our channel, go search it, of us making that water super easy, not hard at all. And then these feeders, I bought them at the feed store locally. I bought them on Amazon. We usually get about 3 or 4 years out of them before they rust out and get beat up and too much to use. So, and then as far as feed goes, obviously we free feed them. They get to eat whenever they want to. And we've tried different kinds of feed, and we've had the best luck with just a grower type feed. We've tried corn, we've tried other mixes of feed, we've gone and had bulk feed made, and that's been with growth and quick growth, that's been the best option for us. So it kind of covers everything I can think of. What we do and what I recommend, we've had multiple pigs. Now we only raise 1 pig at a time, and we raise one per year, and what we do is we get the pig in late summer, and that way it's big enough by when it gets really cold in the wintertime here in Texas, like in January. The pig is big enough that they've always been able to survive the winter. Usually we run an extension cord down here, put a heat lamp up for them, and have to put it up where they can't knock it off or anything, and it takes some engineering, but we get it done. And then they will make it through the winter well, usually or always in our situation, and then continue to raise them through the spring, and then usually we take them to have them processed in the early summer before it gets too hot. If you get into the summertime with them, they're not gonna put on weight, and you're just gonna be feeding them for nothing, and you're just gonna be pouring feed into them, and they're gonna stay the same weight, and it will not be productive. So that's kind of our timeline for doing it. It's worked well for us. All right, when it comes time to transport the animal, normally when we go pick them up from our friends that raise show pigs, they're big enough that you can fit them into like a dog crate in the back of a truck. So usually when we go pick them up, that's how we transport them home. And then we used to borrow a trailer from family members, but me and the boys built this trailer right here. I had the flatbed trailer, but we built the pin that's on it. There's several videos on our channel of us welding that and building it. It was a really cool project for me and the boys to do that. And the pin itself is removable. You can take 4 bolts off, and within less than 5 minutes you can have it off there, and then have that trailer to use for other things as well. But you want to have something lined up. Borrow a horse trailer, borrow a cattle trailer or something from somebody when you go to take them. Loading them, you can see right here, we had that that little section of fence right there. What they are is like kennel for a dog, and I got those for free from a buddy of mine, and they come in really handy for isolating chickens when we're bringing new chickens in. Come in handy for building a little loading chute for the pig, that kind of stuff. And every pig that we've ever loaded up until this one, we've had pretty good luck with. Normally they're pretty curious, and you just back the trailer up, make it where they can't go anywhere but into the trailer, open everything up, and usually they'll kind of just walk up in the trailer out of curiosity. This pig did not want to do that. We got beat up pretty good. I got some scratches. Shanna fell, cut her arm a little bit. But ultimately, me and Reed had to kind of manhandle her up in there. I've got a board. It's over here in the mud, but it's leaning up against that tiller right there. But it's kind of a working board. You can buy those. I made that one out of some plywood, but that'll kind of help. You can use that board to kind of push them in the right direction. And ultimately, we had to kind of manhandle her up in there, but still, she was pretty. Once we got her up in there, she was fine. She wasn't, traumatized or anything like that by it. So. But yeah, and then so after that, the next thing that you're going to do, that you're going to run into is, finding a processor to take the pig to, and knowing what to do with that pig. And so we've learned a lot. We are a hunting family. I know a lot from just having, cutting up my own deer and processing my own deer. And but find a good processor, make some calls, find somebody that will talk to you and help you, teach you. We still learn every time we go. When we dropped this pig off this time, we sat down at a desk with a young man that helped us, and we went through our cut, they call it a cut sheet, and we went in detail of what we're getting. Pork chops, bacon, front shoulders are going to be turned into pork butts or roasts that you can put in a crock pot or smoker. They're fantastic. We're going to get a lot of grind out of this pig. Going to get a little bit of ham. We didn't have all the rear hindquarters turned into ham, but just a little bit. Some boneless pork chops, baby back ribs, that kind of stuff. But don't be afraid to find, first of all, find somebody that will help you and that's kind and will walk you through it. And then ask lots of questions, do research, and decide what you want for your family. Like I know the first pig that we processed, we got one entire rear quarter turned into a whole holiday ham, and it was gigantic, and you could have fed an army with it. And a lot of it unfortunately went to waste. So you know, just kind of do your research, think through what you're going to need, what you want. The grind is really good, or like it's like comparable to hamburger meat. It's really good for anything that you want to put that you would normally put hamburger meat in. You can substitute it for ground pork, and it's really good. You know, tacos, spaghetti, all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, just and then be prepared. You know, you're going to have some expenses involved. You know, for like, you know, the feed, water, you know, a lot of this stuff we've paid for already, and it's paid for itself, so we don't consider that in the cost. But just the feed, you know, a bag of feed right now is running about 13-14 bucks. So a lot of people ask how much feed they go through. When they're little, they go through not very much. When they are as big as this pig we just took, they go through a lot. They go through a bag of feed every few days, like maybe every 3 or 4 days. So, and then the processing, you know, obviously can probably vary depending on your area and things like that. But ours runs between $250 to $400 depending on what we do. The more cured stuff you have, like bacon and ham, the more expensive it's going to be. The more sausage that you do, we don't do any sausage, but if you were to do sausage and add that in, that would add a lot to the price as well. But I'd say $300 to $400 would be a good estimate. So, and then you know, I think that pretty much covers it. You know, like I said, I just want to encourage everybody, you know, if this is something you're wanting to try, find you a small piglet and make you a little pen and give it a shot. It's something that we've done for, golly, 5 or 6 years now, and we do it every single year, and I don't see any time in the future where we are going to stop doing it. Like I said before, we also hunt. We probably put 3 to 4 deer at a minimum in our freezer every year, and between the deer that we shoot, pig that we raise, we do raise some meat chickens occasionally, maybe every other year. You know, that kind of stuff, fish that we catch, we provide most of our meat that we eat ourselves. Really the only time that we buy meat is if like we want some, like a steak, you know, something like that. We'll go to the store and get that. But you know, it's a good feeling. It's really nice to know that you're providing for yourself. And then the other thing, I guess the last thing is, if you did want to go, you know, we have the tools. We have grinders and sausage stuffers and a vacuum sealer and like the wax paper distributors and all that kind of stuff, where we could do our own pig. We choose to have someone else do that for efficiency. 1, because we are very busy, and 2, because they are much better at doing it. And when we do it, well, we've never done a pig, but when we do deer, you know, I feel like we create more waste than a professional would, for sure. So what we're getting in return is more, and then just a trade-off of not having the time to do that. But if that's something you want to do and do it yourself, by all means, I would encourage that. You're going to have to do some more research, but it's not that difficult. It can be done if you want to do it. Pick you a cold day and, you know, get after it. It can definitely be done. The more help you have, the better, though. All right, y'all. Like I said, I want to encourage y'all. Want to share with y'all what we do. Comment down below. You know, if you guys are thinking about getting a pig. If you got any questions, hit us up in the comments of this video. Hit us up on Facebook, Messenger. We can answer a lot of questions through there as well. We have a couple other videos on this topic that have done fairly well, and like I said, it's kind of the same exact video we've done before, but just want to do a more current one and kind of update everybody on what we're doing now. It's changed in the past. We have tried to raise multiple pigs, and that was just more than what we wanted to do. And I do think raising multiple ones in a pen this size it's harder to get them to grow. I do think that some of them keep the others away from the feed, things like that could be an issue. But yeah, hope this helps y'all. We appreciate the support. Do us a favor, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we'll see y'all again.